Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Nerd YouTube channel. My view of everything nerdy and business is a whole new tea. Hmm. Still, yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna really have one for. I will, but I guess while my business is under construction, and since my other channel is as messy as my life, I can take my time with this one. Yeah. Even though, yeah, this channel is going to still involve my life and my story. And oh, wow, just coincidentally, I rewatched Bad Vegan. And within her business, her love life and the dating nightmare and stuff interfered with her dream and her goal. And I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about that because now that I'm single yet again, and well, at this point I kind of gave up, but dating apps are they're entertaining now because, well, a couple years ago when well, I'm going to talk about my driving and my liberation for independence and stuff like that as someone who's disabled. But my driving instructor, I will never forget what she told me one of my first weeks back on the road because I think she asked me if I was single and things because my dad was taking me to the lessons. And I was just like, yeah, trying to date while disabled. And most men, either they hate my education or that I have a disability and or they don't date black women. So I'm kind of, and she said, just as bold and 10 toes down, just get what you want out of a man. And then just whatever. I mean, she said a little bit more than that, but I just remember, like, this is while we're walking to the car. And I was like, oh, what? And I mean, yeah, she had some stories to tell, and ooh, they were like while driving. I was just like, ooh. I was like, okay, can this driving lesson be a little longer, or can we just press pause and have a part two during our next driving lesson? Because I want to hear more about these stories. Yeah, you got some good stories. But yeah, and she said that, and it made me wonder about, did the men hurt her like they hurt me? Because I want to end up, I don't want to, I want to end up in a different atmosphere. I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to hurt other people. Yeah, I almost said I want to end up like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, I want to end up free. I want my heart to be healed. And yes, I'm back on the dating apps while healing. But it's amazing because I'm learning so much. I'm learning more of the tricks men pull. And even again, over the last 48 hours, how many men have, within the first hour, asked me to go and meet them for drinks or to come over to their house? And oh my gosh, one of them said, he can tell by my eyes that I'm kind and giving and nurturing and that I'm going to be a good woman to him. What in the world? And many men do not read their own profiles. Because with one of them, I said, yeah, we're not compatible in dating, but we can chat, whatever. And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, well, you only want short term, and I'm not a short term type. And he was like, what would make you say that? Your dating profile says that. Then he responded, oh, I never pay attention to that. Excuse me, what? What? how do you say all the things that are wrong with dating apps without saying all the, yeah, it's so toxic. But okay, let's get out that boba. Yeah, let's get out. Or if you like, some nice hot, hot chocolate, some tea, some coffee. I mean, it's hot out here, so stay hydrated. But yeah, I'm gonna be sipping on some boba right now, figuratively, Actually, I have mango aloe vera. I love these aloe vera drinks. It's like I have to make sure I space them out because they are kind of high in calorie, but they are delicious and good for. Well, I think they're good for me. I could be wrong. I've tried to do research, but that's a different story for a different day. And I've been doing a lot of research on flowers too, for my butterfly garden, but also for my writing, the symbolism, and that's one reason why with booktubers, when they say they only read what people are saying, but then they have the nerve to rate books. If you don't read where they are, what they're doing, how they're doing it, or the who, what, when, where, and why, you're missing a vital piece. And so, like when they rate books, I cringe. I honestly, yeah, yeah. But okay, okay. I know I started talking about influencers and I'm in who I should send samples of my candles to last time, and I'm going to be digging more into that because, especially from a wholesale perspective, who should I send that could impress? Like, and who do wholesalers watch? So I really need to look and research that part as well because I know some small businesses, they don't want wholesale because then you sell your products at like half the price and you don't make nearly as much. But yeah, today I'm going to be talking more about the marketing because with my website, which I'm going to start working on more tonight, but I really need to write more of them. Yeah, I need to finish these novels because I know some people are going to be like, oh, she's going to finish her novel. She's going to finish her novel, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't have no novel. She's not writing. She's not. Yeah, it's like, yeah, part of my post traumatic stress disorder, the trauma of people not believing me, but whatever. It is what it is. But while I work on everything, I need to really focus and work on what is going to go in each box because I know I'm going to need something that encourages people and impress people to hopefully in a good way rate my candles, my products based off either when they open it, what was their impression, and the smell of the candle, the longevity. So, yeah, there's a list of things that I need to make sure I highlight of what makes my product stand out. And so, yeah, I already know like tissue paper. I want it to be classy, but some people buy like they literally have their own branded. I can't. I can't do that. But and I really want to go on that one website. Oh, now Alibaba. But then I want to see what other sites that are competitive because I've tried buying stuff off of Alibaba before and then it was a scam and they took like, yeah, trying to start a business and they scam your savings and what you like. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's one reason why I have not used them. I want to use them so bad. Like, okay, no, that doesn't sound right. I want to be able to use their website so badly, or you guys know what I'm saying. It's like I don't want, yeah, I don't mean that in the objective way, yeah. But so yeah, right now I need to first I need to pick a rating website because there's quite a few, and there's a couple years ago I think I picked my top three, but they're in one of my notebooks, so I gotta find that. So, but yes, I need to make sure on my website I put the plug in or pay for the subscription and stuff for rating system. And then also, I need to know exactly my formatting with the website because I started it, but I'm gonna need part of it for the candles. But I also have the books, and the books are gonna be like the main thing. So for right now, I'm gonna have to make sure that with the books, I have the main channel, which like so you go onto the site, but once like I need to figure out, am I going to have like different corners? Like, oh, are you going for my books? Are you going for my candles and greeting cards? And do I put the candles and greeting cards in the same area? Because I think yes, because that's kind of like a Hallmark type of feel. But then the activity books and educational books are going to be in a separate because I don't want all within the same exact entity because that'll be too much for somebody. And if someone's just looking for one item to buy, I don't want to mess up that sale. But at the same time, yeah, because I don't want to mess up that sale, but at the same time, if they decide that they want to possibly get packages and things, so that is something I need to think about too. So yeah, so when it comes to the website and what's going to go in the packaging, because the rating, and also I want them to know about my channels. It's like it is my public diary. So I think, yeah, they can see and witness the thought that I'm putting into it, but also listen to the life of someone who was undiagnosed and the racism, bigotry, and all, yeah, they can read my story or listen to my story, not read, listen. Well, actually, yeah, they can read my stories as well. But so, yeah, I'm gonna need the rating system. I am gonna need to know how to separate and focus the website to make sure because one thing a lot of people don't know with small, especially just a business, but specifically small business, people's attention span is very quick. And so when people look, they have like 5 seconds to decide, am I going to stay on this website? Does it obtain or gather what I want? Can I find what I need easily? So, yeah, I need to figure that out. And okay, well, there's one surprise that I'm not going to share until I have everything together. But there is one surprise that I'm going to add that kind of shows the the sophistication level of what I'm trying to do. But I need to make sure, like, yeah, I need to finish the website so then I can put the website on the cards and make sure people remember to rate not just the candles, but hopefully the books and maybe check out the YouTube channel. So that, yeah, that's a lot of marketing. So either I'm going to need more than one card or maybe rotate, depending on what month, rotate what I'm going to be promoting and marketing. And all and also with the back of the card, announce what candle is going to be coming up or promote a different fragrance that they have not purchased yet. So, based off of the one they bought, would be the next one I put in. Because if I see that they like a specific type of smell, I'll try to see what other smell out of the rest of the collection do I think they would enjoy and slide that in there so that then I can hopefully get future sales. And I also want to think about gifts and wedding planners or planners, period, and other people who would want candles for a specific time, reason, and stuff. So And also, can't forget the men. So, because I'm going to be having a bachelor pad collection. That probably won't be until next year that I bring those out because, yeah, black woman trying to start this small business from scratch with no, like, I'm literally doing all of this while I apply for grants. So, yeah, when I apply for grants, I will be adding that I want to upgrade my packaging and the equipment. And because that's one reason why right now, every other month, I try to find and figure out what is a nice quality piece of equipment, something that's going to last for years, so that I don't, when it comes to the, the accounting and everything like that, depreciation, at least it's something that will hopefully last me a lot longer than if I just got a bunch of like the least expensive products just to start off, but then almost immediately I keep having to replace stuff. But yeah, those are the main things I'm gonna be working on. Because, yeah, this week will be new poetry. I have some new poetry that I'm going to be finishing and uploading on vocal.com. Within the last episodes, if you haven't noticed, I've been sharing, well, the Amazon with the children's books, but I am going to be, I keep saying I am going to be, I have, my list is way too long, but I'm going to republish everything outside of Amazon. And oh, I'm going to be having an interesting episode soon. And as I empty out and hopefully clear out my phone and also my email, I can show you some of the ways that some of these companies, in such tacky ways, try to get my attention to either publish me or help me publish my books and stories. And sometimes I'm just like, how did you find me? Or did you just go to Amazon and just be like, oh, this is a unknown author. This is someone who's just starting out. This is someone who probably doesn't know any better. This is why I'm so glad I got my MBA and other degrees and study. Like, I pay attention and look at patterns of scam and catfish, which on the other channel, hopefully by the fall, I will be getting back into researching and finding some of these catfish. I've only had, I think, one or two catfish this summer. Well, I think one reason I haven't been on the dating apps much at all, especially after the breakup. Or, yeah, I was dating a guy. So if you don't know, check out that, but you probably know. But, so yeah, gonna write more poetry, going to just write some more, work on the website, and try to figure out how I'm going to organize everything so that I am not overwhelming my consumer. And the marketing products, I need to make sure that I have a rating system, but also a way to promote people to rate the products, because like the biggest dynamic in the best way for sales is people to people sales. If one person buys something and they love it, they're going to tell their friends. And that's another reason why I'm trying to make sure the box opening is an entire experience. And that's another reason I want to be at wholesale stores, because if they can see my product on a shelf, and it's like they get that full shopping experience. And again, when they open it, I want them to just be like, oh, okay. And I just, I'm hoping with what I'm picturing and what I've been researching and everything, that it's going to be absolutely worth it. And that takes me back to the pictures because with the website and when I start with the PR, but you know what? That's probably not gonna be until next year. Yeah, but I have a green backdrop. Is I have like speaking of who you know, I have one close friend who I spoke about him on my other channel. He is the guy who he's one of my best friends, and actually, yeah, I'm probably gonna message him right after this. But the the 2 nights before my surgery, while I couldn't walk, he's the one that was on the phone with me, telling me, "You're gonna get through this. You can do this. Just take deep breaths. You're strong. You're amazing. You got this." And then he would remind me of all the things we've been through. I met him while I was doing promotional modeling. I did that for 12 years. And he was one of my boss. It's really crazy. Yeah, he was one of my bosses. I became friends with two of my most popular, like, well, not most popular bosses, but for me, they were. I I ended up working with them so many times over the 12 years. And so once they realized when I work, I work. It's like we just started talking, chatting, hanging out, and things. And years later, they didn't see me for a time and they didn't know, they just thought, oh, yeah, she's in the middle of her MBA. She doesn't have to do this anymore. But the thing was, I was in too much pain. My legs couldn't do it anymore. And some of the companies would even tell me, yeah, we can't put you on a plane. And, oh, we don't know if you're going to, like, if you would be able to work the full duration of the event. So once you hear that so many times, that's a hint to get you to shout. But he called me up almost a year, I think it was about a year ago, actually. And he told me how one of his friends was selling some of his podcast equipment because he had no use for it anymore. And yeah, I contacted the guy and I sent him a Zillow. And yeah, I ended up like I have the green black backdrop stuff. And so I'm kind of excited because like with my photos, like I'm still learning everything, but I think it's going to be of great use to me, especially once I get the candles and figure out how to turn my Android into at least the highest of quality of photo taking as possible. And with, well, yeah, some people aren't going to like, but with the use of AI, being able to create beautiful backdrops for them. So, but yeah, that's majority of the things I'm going to be working on this week. And I think that's all I can manage this. And throughout the week, I'm going to be talking more about wholesale and also the packaging experience because yeah, I need to find a box, but not just a box. I want to be in theme. And well, I could tell you this much because I mean, no one's going to be able to copy my fragrances. But just think bakery, think French, Italian, or well, think American, but with a splash of French, Italian bakery theme. Because you know those bakery boxes when you see the cake, like you look over and you can see the front of the cake and stuff. That's the kind of box I kind of want. I kind of want that vibe because it's gonna be each one has a sweetness to it. And so yeah, that's one of the main things. But then also with the tissue, I kind of want that soft bakery frosting. So I don't want it white though, so it's probably gonna be like a an off-white beige. So I'm gonna be looking up websites that offer where hopefully I can buy that in bulk. And I really want to get it from Alibaba. So, but yeah, one of the days this week, you guys might be looking at a list of websites of Alibaba competitors because, yeah, I got scammed twice. So, do I trust? I wish I, and they have so many great products on there too. Because, like with one of my scents, they have one of the oils on there and like the exact type of oil that I want. But I don't want to get, yeah, no, I can't risk it. I've worked so hard, like back to the nerd channel. I had to spend almost every penny I had in order to get diagnosed. And now that I'm diagnosed, and it's like I worked as a adjunct professor for years and I worked at a university too. But yeah, the dean is a in my opinion, the dean is a bigot because he mocked my disability, and a few professors came up to me telling me to watch out for him and that he is really cruel and mean. Yeah. So, but that's what drives me, and that's what keeps me going. All of the people like Mr. Spider who used me, all of the people who don't believe in me or judge me or dehumanize me. I've been through that so much throughout my life that that's what keeps me going with my goals. And another reason why I want to do this part of the channel, I want to inspire and help others because in my ear I kept hearing, you can't do this, you better not do that. Oh, and even on dating apps the last 6 weeks. Oh, baby girl, yo, you don't have to make no candles. Oh, you don't have to start a business. Just date me. It's like, I got you. Oh, why would a pretty girl like you do that? Why would someone beautiful want to take their time? No, it's like, I want you to go to the hair salon and focus on making sure you look like a queen every time you see me. Oh, do you know how many times I've heard that I don't need to start my business, that I shouldn't start my business over the last 6 weeks? It just makes me kind of think of, yes, I'm getting political right now, but it makes me think of the women who want to be the stay at home wives. And when I ask these men, why don't you look for one of the stay at home, the conservative women? Oh, no, don't worry. I don't want one of them. I want, like, oh no. Let me show you. It's like, oh my gosh. Not like, oh, it's kind of annoying. It's really annoying. Oh, I'm not conservative at all. I am working on, oh, because even with my novels, one of them told me, a lady shouldn't write fantasy. That's not what you need to write. It's like, why don't you write one of those romance novels? It's like, that's what you need to write. It's like, why don't we meet up and I can even cook you something, but I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you some stories that you need to write. I've had 4 or 5 different men tell me that they need to tell me the stories that I need to write. And it's funny because with some of them, once I told them I was disabled, they lost all. And they were just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I see what. Yeah, It's like once I mention that, my humanity walks out the door, walks out their ears and their brain cells.